Hi, everyone. We are live right now at the Paste Studio in New York with Eric Andersen. Eric Andersen, thank you for being here, man. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
I'm going away, my baby. I'm gonna leave you, pretty gal. If a train passes you by while you lay sleeping, I'll write you a letter on a dusty boxcar wall. I once had a true love in old Kentucky. I once had a love in sunny Tennessee. But a New York gal brought me pain and sorrow, and now I'm as lonely as I can be. I'm going away, my baby. Yes, I'm gonna leave you, pretty gal. If a train passes you by while you lay sleeping, I'll write you a letter on a dusty boxcar wall. City women are cold and they are shallow. Country girls love as sweet as it can be. City women are cold and they are shallow. Country girls love is deeper than the deep blue sea. 'Cause I'm going away, my baby, and I'm gonna leave you, pretty girl. If a train passes you by while you lay sleeping, and I'll write you a letter on a dusty boxcar wall. Spike up on my gravestone and my casket, a weeping willow tree. 'Cause I'm going away, my baby. I'm gonna leave you, pretty girl. And if a train passes you by while you lay sleeping, I'll write you a letter on a dusty boxcar wall. 'Cause I'm going away, my baby. I'm gonna leave you, pretty girl. Why, thank
right.
you.
Yeah,
All
thank
two
you,
of you.
man. Thank you so much for coming through and playing this music for us today. We appreciate it very much. Eric, can you introduce us to everybody who's playing today?
Absolutely. On guitar is Steve Adabo.
All right, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you.
On mandolin and fiddle, Eric Lee.
Eric.
On percussion, Jagoda.
All right. Nice. Well, dude, you guys sound outstanding here together. We really appreciate you bringing the music here. And so I know you played City Vineyard last night, and there's a couple of shows coming up. There's a handful of California shows coming up in the near future. January 24th at Underground Exchange in Ojai, 25th at McCabe's Guitar Shop in Santa Monica. What does the live show look like? The arrangement of the live show look like versus what's happening in here? Is this exactly what people see live?
Pretty much
at the live
what
show?
you see is what you got. This is pretty much it. In California, though, we will be joined by Scarlett Rivera, who is the Rolling Thunder Review, the violinist, the mysterious gypsy lady who was in the Scorsese film. So she's joining the band on the West Coast. And tomorrow, another thing that's happening, they're going to debut a film a documentary that they did on me. And it was done, it's going to be premiering at the Santa Barbara Film International, if I can get this out, the Santa Barbara International Film Festival tomorrow night, and it's sold out, which is great.
Nice.
So they're going to premiere this film. And they worked on it for about, 8-9 years. I mean, and I'm still amazed. I'm still in the film. That they didn't completely just edit me out, but I guess I make an appearance a couple times in there. So anyways, we're very happy about this. We're going to fly out to California, jump in a car, jump in a van, and go see a film. Great. And then we start the tour.
Nice. Well, dude, that sounds like an outstanding sequence of events.
The film's called
man.
The Song Poet.
Say it again.
The Song Poet.
The Song
Poet. That's the name of the film. And it's already been shown in Copenhagen and Brussels, Milano, and it's going to be at the Amsterdam Film Festival in May. And they're looking at Barcelona, Portugal, then God knows where. Anybody will take it.
Man, I did know that Scarlett, it just so happens sitting on my desk right here. I did not plan for this because maybe somewhere in my brain I knew that had happened, but there's this tape right here. This is the second show of the Rolling Thunder Review ever. It was just sitting on my desk.
Right there with you.
And I'm not sure whether was Scarlett part of the 1975 tour or not.
The entire tour. She
for both years.
75. That's when the tour. And I was in the first one, the very first show.
Dude, you're on this tape then. The Lowell, Massachusetts, 1975.
No, I wasn't at that one. But yeah, he found her on the street, just driving his Ford or something. He found her on the street, and she was carrying her violin case with her long hair down to her knees, and he says, "Hi, you look interesting." And they went and did an audition. They started playing a lot of songs and folk songs and stuff, and he liked her and asked her to join the circus.
Yeah. Nice. Well, dude, thank you for bringing the circus here to this tape room today. We appreciate it very much. And there's a lot more music, man. We're going to hear 5 songs today. What are you going to do?
Oh, that's so nice kind of you to let us play so many songs on this
man, of
program.
course, dude. Play all afternoon. We don't have a 4:30 today. If you want to just hang all afternoon and play music, that's fine.
Don't tell them
What's coming up second today?
This is called Foolish Like the Flowers. We were foolish like the flowers. Warmth of wanting you was just too much to even mention. Wrapped in pale blues, your touch, it harmonized with deep magenta. It's so sad when lovers they must leave. It's so sad, I believe. Now I'm glad, happy just to be. We were foolish like the flowers, to think a love like that could be ours. It was so nice, you smiled, you said it felt like summer wine. Then like paradise lost, baby, you went your way, I went mine. For every rainbow, one that had to end, try and catch it if you can. Not being strangers, still not being friends. We were foolish like the flowers, to think a love like that, it could be ours. Was it the breeze perfume, a wind like no tomorrow. Sailing free, high above our seas of sorrow. Falling together, such a natural thing to do. Floating free in the loveliness of you. Living each moment, yeah, like we never knew. We were foolish like the flowers to think a love like that, it could be ours.
Thank you, guys. One of the, I mean, it's easy to talk about musical influences in this room because we're surrounded by like 50, 60 years of rock and roll history, including that
the Tombs
Rolling Thunder review tape that's sitting right here. But that seems like a weird question to ask you because, I mean, someone who has spent so much time being an influence of other people and working with the band and working with Lou Reed, etc. Can you either tell us who's been an important influence on you in your life and music and career, or tell us who you're impressed by right now? Any contemporary artists who you have your eye on that are doing the thing?
It's really bizarre. You never know who your music touches. I mean, I'll play a show, say, for example, and somebody will come up to me and said, well, 30 years ago, I loved your album, Blue River, and I got divorced. And she took the damn album. She took it, and she got the album. And then a guy will come up and say, or a woman will come up and say, I was married, and, we love this album of yours. This album kind of hit a lot of people. And I'm getting around to an answer. I'm going a little roundabout because you never. And she says, he took the record, and I'm so angry, not about losing the house and the car, but he took the record. I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you can't believe who has heard your stuff. I mean, and likewise, you're listening to stuff too. Like I was, I like calypso music when I was growing up, and I learned guitar on 3 chords from rock and roll, like Bill. The first record that really changed my life. You have a few epiphanies. I was like at a teeny bopper sock hop party, and the medium there was a record changer with 45s, vinyl, and each one would drop down, And then and we'd run through a TV set for the speaker. They had some kind of rig. And we're listening to the crew cuts or all of these groups and whatever these people, these normal, rock, pop records at the time, boring, vanilla. They weren't playing R&B at this party. And all of a sudden, what plops down is Rock Around the Clock. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And I'm going, my God, what the hell is it? What is this? It was like my brain was made of glass and it just shattered. And I kept sneaking in, putting the record back on the pile, and it kept repeating and repeating. And from there, I got a guitar and I started learning the 3 chords from the Everly Brothers, especially, and Buddy Holly. I saw Elvis Presley. The Everly Brothers came to my high school, and a kid threw some kind of grease ball through a tennis ball and broke the guy's Gibson J45, and Don Everly jumped into the bleachers at the gym, and it was like it was a ruckus. Fists were flying, words were being spewed all over the place, and cops came, and that was the end of the show. And then I saw Elvis at the Buffalo Memorial Auditorium in his gold suit, and everybody was sitting in there folding chairs, and like the first note, the chairs got trashed. Everybody was just running around crazy, and he did a five version tempo changes of You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog, like from the one you heard on the record to a slow shuffle to like a country version, all in one shot, and then booked out of the stage. But I also was, my dad took me to hear Miles Davis and John Coltrane and Bill Evans and stuff. They were playing in Buffalo too. My mom liked art a lot, went to the museum, and I saw a lot of stuff. And I think, and I listened to a lot of blues. I was in the Village, and I made a record in Greenwich Village in the 60s with the singer-songwriters, like Phil Oakes and Tom Paxton, Bob Dylan, and Patrick Skye, Buffy St. Marie, Fred Neil, the ilk of those. Is that a word? Anyway, of that ilk. But I was waiting for my record to come out, and it took like a year or more because it was Vanguard Records. It was very slow. I did the recording in a hotel ballroom down from the bar, on Broadway. What's the theater up there? What's that theater where everybody plays? Anyway, and we're waiting for this record to come. So every night I would go down to the Village, and I knew all the club owners, and people those days were playing gigs for a week. They would come in for a week. And now people just do one-off gigs, and they go the next gig, the next gig. You practically moved into town. And this was like Lightning Hopkins, Son House, Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Charlie Mingus, Betty Carter, Bill Evans, Ornette Coleman, then the blues guy, or Clarence Ashley, Muddy Waters, everybody. So I just sat at their knees and listened to that. And that was like my doctorate in music, listening to these guys, because I had time to kill. I had no money, nothing to do. And then I began to do that too, and playing shows, and you'd go to a town for a week. You could start a family. Really, it was incredible. You could meet have a wife in every port, and the movie theater, and the deli, and the restaurants, and the neighborhoods, and where you could score dope, whatever you want to do. So that's how it was in the early days. So that's kind of how I got my beginning, hearing live music, pretty much. So.
Nice. Well, dude, thank you for that answer. It
was rather lengthy. I'm sorry.
No, that's exactly as lengthy of an answer as I wanted that to be, man. It's an outstanding passage of information from sitting at the knees of Muddy Waters.
At the feet and the knees of these people, or Lightning Hopkins. There's a big influence also on Townes Van Zandt as a writer, And I'm trying to think who else. Mississippi John Hurt.
Did you see the other room over there? Did you see all the Lightning Hopkins and Mississippi John Hurt tapes that are literally in that other room?
You got to give me a tour of this place.
Yeah, as soon as we wrap, there's a club called, the Ash Grove in LA?
Of course, I played there.
Dude, you might be on one of those tapes. There's a ton of tapes of Lightning Hopkins just sitting right over there.
I got to check. We just kind of blew into this place, so we don't know. I don't know what your holdings are, what your but
Yeah,
it sounds
dude, we're
fascinating.
holding plenty, man. And there's a lot more music happening. I think we're 2 songs into a 5-song session right now. What's happening third today? What are you guys gonna do next?
Oh, okay. I just got to quickly tune my guitar.
Yeah, we'll probably do that. Where are we going? Can you borrow your tune? Give me I need to borrow it because I don't have my rig with me.
I'd like to see all your things, Brad. The stuff you got here.
Dude, there's so much.
And I don't know how you got it.
There's the guy who owns Paste Magazine has been buying these collections, and he bought from. Do you ever cross paths with Ed Pearl? The guy.
Of course.
Dude. So he bought
I knew him.
Ed Pearl's collection from.
And Chris Strockwitz, you heard of him? He found, and Dick Waterman. These are these 3 guys who found Mississippi John Hurt and found Son House living in Rochester, who was the teacher of Robert Johnson. These guys, they were like hound dogs. They just sniffed their way, and they found these people from like a lyric in a song. They heard the name of a town. They went into that town. There was Mississippi John Hurt gardening somewhere. I mean, it's a big story. It's a really big story. Yeah, I'd love to see this stuff, yeah.
Yep.
Excuse me, folks. It's great to be here. Thank you for having
man,
us.
thank you for
at,
coming.
your
We
wonderful
appreciate it very much.
forum. We're going to do a song called Foghorn. And all these songs were on Sony released a thing last year called The Essential Eric Andersen. I made a couple albums for them. And they were pulling material from all over the place. And they put together a double CD. It's actually on digitally. It's a lot longer. And all these numbers we're playing for you from that album. It's called The Essential Eric Andersen. And you know something? I found out from Sony that 78% of this thing of music sold is all digital. CDs are like, turn into Frisbees or something.
That makes sense, man.
Harbor horns blow in the night mist, warning ships to keep their distance. No ice or fog can freeze this bed of tears. I know I ain't going anywhere. My only mission is a prayer. Every thought of you could disappear. There's a foghorn blowing for the lost. It could be singing just for us. A lighthouse searches in the dark, seabells toll the deep. The kind I wanna catch the tide that's taking you and me. If I flew like a seagull, I'd fly down like a thief. Crime was light, I'd kill the night and let the waves go free. I'm listening while the rain is falling. Is there anybody calling an echo that the rain forgot to place? Did I have something of your heart? A piece time could not tear apart. Time, that skinny thief without a face. But I take a look inside the mirror. I still can't recognize who's near. Someone I remembered from the past. Someone I left by the trail looking for the Holy Grail. I promised him one day I would come back. There's a foghorn blowing for the lost, and it could be singing just for us. A lighthouse searches in the dark, sea seabells toll the deep. The cannot wanna catch the tide that's taking you and me. If I flew like a seagull, I'd fly down like a thief. Crime was light, I'd kill the night and let the waves go free. I see the light fall through the leaves. It takes its leave of you and me. Time takes all that we forget to keep. The future holds a grain of truth, sheds a past like a slave of youth. Future cannot form one memory. But I'm looking for my solitude, something good and make it new, something I have never tried before. I show my face and thanks to you, open hearts and gratitude. Turn the key when someone's at the door. There's a foghorn blowing for the lost. It could be singing just for us. I light our searches in the dark. Seabells toll the deep. They cannot wanna catch the tide that's taking you and me. If I feel like a seagull, I'd fly down like a thief. Crime was light, I'd kill the night and let the waves go free. Crime was light, I'd kill the night, let every wave go free. Let 'em go, set 'em free. I let 'em go, set 'em free. Let 'em go.
Thank you. Eric, can you tell us a bit more about what's happening next? What's happening right now with Woodstock Under the Stars? So that's there's a 3-disc set that's coming out any moment. It's coming out pretty soon, right?
Yeah,
it's
a triple CD. These are recordings we did in Woodstock in the 2001, 2006, two different times. And they were just sitting in the dark, just sitting on a shelf, like, this stuff.
Yeah.
And
these are pretty well lit up, but those are good.
They probably glow in the dark, these tapes we got here. And we decided to put them out because we were just sitting there, and we were thinking of giving them to the Smithsonian Institute. We were talking about that, but it takes so long for if you release things with the Smithsonian, you won't be alive when it comes out.
Folkways, is that the same thing, the Smithsonian Folkways, or is that a different thing?
Excuse me?
Smithsonian Folkways, is that?
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I mean, you get on a list, and in 100 years it might come out, but that's a great thing. Don't get me wrong. Woody Guthrie, Leadbelly, they got all these great things.
That's the second time in 2 sessions that Leadbelly has come up. I know you guys crossed paths with Robert Randolph on his way out, but
I was curious. I'd love to hear those guys. I can hear them on streaming, right? I was curious about that band. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to check. You got to show me the ropes, Brad.
Okay.
And the places and the rooms and the shelves. So anyway, I had been working with Rick Danko of the band. We did a couple albums together with a trio with a Norwegian, Jonas Fell, Norwegian guy. You might have heard of him.
Yeah, man.
He just got a hit record with Judy Collins a month
Judy
ago.
came in here and did one of these not that long ago. She came and did one of these sessions.
Okay, maybe he was here with a County
Jonas
Line band?
Was not. It was just, I'm almost, just
well, anyway,
here.
they played
3 years ago. I'm
they
not
played
exactly sure
the
what
Joe's Pub, and they got
was.
like a hit record on like a country stations and stuff. So anyway, I worked with Jonas and Rick a lot. So there's a couple tracks in the Moldy Jazz Festival with Rick, and then Garth Hudson from the band. He's on the record, these recordings. John Sebastian's on the recordings. Happy Traum, the late Artie Traum. Eric Bazillion from the Hooters is playing guitar. And so we just did these live concerts. And one was a webcast we did that was broadcast live, and they were just sitting around. So we decided, Carol Rothman, who's I work with some at times, she put this set together, and it's coming out, I think, in a month or so. I'm not sure when, but it's called Woodstock Under the Stars.
Outstanding. Well, Woodstock Under the Stars, it's coming out very soon, whether that's 1 month from now, 2 weeks from now.
We didn't have
soon,
it for this
it's gonna
tour,
be out in
which
the world soon.
we were a little sad we didn't have it for this tour. You know, it's interesting. You know, people sell CDs at gigs. You know, you probably these people come to. Nobody's buying CDs. Yeah. It's phenomenal.
I buy vinyl from time to time. I don't buy compact discs. So
Nobody
much anymore,
does,
but I do certainly buy vinyl.
Maybe we should be doing vinyl. I don't know.
I'll buy it, man.
Will you? We got one in the truck in the back. We got in the trunk back there. We got one. Let me just tune up for this thing.
Yeah, please do, man. Thank you guys again so much for coming here. And
it's great.
We're only 3/5 of the way. If you want to tune while I'm saying words.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. We're only 3/5 of the way through it right now. There's still 2 songs coming up. What's happening for it today?
Let me just throw the capo on. Yeah. We're in New York City right now, folks, and 2 of the members of this band are they're New Yorkers, Steve, and Jagody's from the Bronx.
Nice.
And man, you know, the Bronx is it. Took me half a lifetime to find his house. But we found it. We found it.
It was farmland until not that long ago, man. Watching a documentary by Ken Burns' brother Rick Burns right now, and the Bronx was, farmland. It was Mr. Bronx, right? Up until the
what?
Early 1800s.
What?
To the 1940s.
Have you ever driven to the Bronx, Brad?
Yeah, dude, I've been
It's
to the
like
Bronx,
driving
man.
through
I've
a bowl of
seen Yankees
spaghetti
games.
when you leave Manhattan. It's like driving through a bowl of spaghetti. Pasta.
I've never driven there one time. I've only ever taken the
It's
train
waiting
there.
for you. And then you finally find the Pelham Parkway and you're there. Here's a song that was, this is a song I wrote in 1967 before I dropped acid, actually. And I was in L.A. in a swimming pool at the Landmark Hotel where we lost Janice, but a lot of musicians have stayed there. I was recording. And everybody's going out to dinner, making their dinner plans, doing whatever they do in hotel rooms around when it gets twilight. So I went to the pool and Errol Flynn used to live in this hotel. He used to jump off a balcony. It was like a bunch of rooms around a pool, like some kind of Neanderthal setting. And he used to jump off the 3rd floor into the pool. Errol Flynn, you know, the actor.
Yeah, Robin
Tarzan
right?
or whatever. He did a lot of stuff. So anyway, he really was the guy. So I'm sitting there and I have my legs in the water by myself, chilling, and I feel good. And I'm approached by this figure coming from the corner of my eye. And comes over to me and rolls up his pant legs and sits right next to me in the pool. And we're the only ones on the set. And he, after I get over the fact that who is this person coming over here? Must be somebody who knows me. And in a very courtly, gentlemanly way, he was very polite. He turns to me and says, my name is Leonard Cohen. I'd like to meet you because your song, Violets of Dawn, got me to write songs. And I said, geez, wow, that's amazing. And I knew his work from Canada because I'd bought some of his books. So we started chatting, and he came to some sessions that I was doing, an album called Avalanche. And then I was having dinner with Lou Reed, who's a New Yorker. And Lou was inducting Leonard Cohen into 45 years later, fast forward, he's inducting Leonard into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I'm telling Lou, and Hal Willner was there too, you probably know him, Hal Willner from Saturday Night Live. Anyway, he's Lou's friend. So I'm telling the story about about Leonard, he's with an L here, about the story in Violets of Dawn, and he told me that nice thing and everything. And Lou's kind of stroking his chin and looking around and like looking up at the ceiling and looking at me like, what, Lou, why? Why are you doing this? What is it? He says, well, I talked to Leonard yesterday to plan this thing for the induction. And that story he just told me, he told me the same thing. That my song, Walk on the Wild Side, was the song that got him to write songs. And I'm going, Where's Dakota? Explain this to me.
This is your business.
You know, who wants? It's dirty business. We don't get involved. But anyway, I'm going to do the song for you. The song that got Leonard Cohen to write songs. So we said. Take me to the night, I'm tipping topsy-turvy, turning upside down. Hold me tight and whisper what you wish for, or there is no one here around. You can sing me sweet smiles regardless of the city's careless frown. Come watch the no-colors fade blazing into petal sprays of violets of dawn. In blindfold wonderments, enchantments, you can lift my wings softly to flight. Your eyes are like swift fingers reaching out into the pockets of my night. Whirling, twirling, puppy warm before the flashing cloaks of darkness gone. Come watch the no-colors fade blazing into petal sprays of violets of dawn. Some Prince Charming I could be on 2 white steeds to bring you double diamond crowns. Climb your tower, sleeping beauty, for you ever know I left the ground. You could wear a Cinderella, Snow White, Alice Wonderlanded gown. Come watch the no-colors fade blazing into petal sprays of violets of dawn. But if I seem to wander off in dreamlike looks, please let me settle slowly. It's only me just staring out at you, a seeming stranger speaking holy. I don't mean to wake you up, it's only loneliness just coming on. So let the no-colors fade blazing into petal sprays of violets of dawn. Like shadows bursting into mist behind the echoes of this nonsense song. It's just a chase and a whispering trail of secret steps. See them laughing on. There's magic in the sleepiness of awakening to a childish sounding yawn. Come watch the no-colors fade blazing into petal sprays of violets of dawn. There's magic in the sleepiness of awakening to a childish sounding yawn. Come watch the no-colors fade blazing into petal sprays of violets of dawn. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank all four of you. You guys sound great together. Instead of me saying more words, people tuned in to hear you guys play. Can you tell us what you're going to do fifth today?
I'm going to do a song.
Bonus song coming
I'm
up.
going to do a song I wrote and recorded with Lou Reed. Actually, at Steve's studio. Steve Adabo owns a studio in New York, and he does all the Bob Dylan bootlegs, and he produced Suzanne Vega's that hit song Luca, and Sean Cole, and he's done a lot of, and he's doing all this Bob Dylan stuff, and when he has spare time, he comes and plays with me, and I'm very fortunate and blessed to have him. He's a little in a rush now to get to Bob. But anyway, so we mentioned Lou Reed before, so I just thought it'd be fitting to do a song we did together, and it was a eponymous song. It's the title of an album called "You Can't Relive the Past." And he said, when we did, he said, "Isn't that what we're all trying to do?" What's said is said, what's done is done. You can't relive the past. The water's blown and so's the bridge. You can't relive the past. Memory runs right by your eyes, so real and so fast. The dam has burst, the acid spilled. You can't relive the past. You can't relive the past. You can't relive the past. The dam has burst, the acid spilled, but you can't relive the past. I said beauty on my knees, you can't relive the past. I ran my guns for Robert E. Lee, but you can't relive the past. One lesson learned from poetry, you can't hide behind no mask. No mask could hide your liberty, you can't relive the past. Can't relive the past. Can't relive the past. No mask can hide your liberty, you can't relive the past. Oh, your life turns gray, the kids leave school. It's so subtle, it's so cruel. The day has gotten rusty, the Wild West got tamed fast. Sit with your remote control, you can't relive the past. You can't relive the past. Can't relive the past. Sit with your remote control, but you can't relive the past. Amuse yourself with anything, you can't relive the past. Mistakes are what they'll always be, you can't relive the past. The many things you thought you'd savor like stocks in a crash. Your future's now just getting up, you can't relive the past. You can't relive the past. Can't relive the past. Your future's now just getting up, you can't relive the past. Did you really think this world would change? You can't relive the past. Reality's not what headlines say. You can't relive the past. Suddenly it's all over before the sail reaches the topmost mast. You're drifting like a wooden down, and you can't relive the past. Can't relive the past. Can't relive the past. Drifting like a wooden down, but you can't relive the past. I walked out to Dexter Street at the crossroads, I heard a saxophone. So many loves are dead and gone, so many lives have crashed. I'll never know what to make of it, but you can't relive the past. You can't relive the past. Can't relive the past. I'll never know what to make of it, but you can't relive the past. Well, waking up is all I know. You can't relive the past. The future's constant tyranny, but you can't relive the past. Many things you thought you'd savor like stocks in a crash. Your future's now just getting up, and you can't relive the past. Oh, you can't relive the past. Can't relive the past. Your future's now just getting up. You can't relive us about it, Steve. Well, waking up is all I know. You can't relive the past. The future's constant tyranny, and you can't relive the past. Some days I might draw a map, but hey, most plans never last. Still, it's fun, though you know you can't relive the past. Can't relive the past. I can't relive the past. Still, it's fun, though you know you can't relive the past. No, no, you can't relive the past. Can't relive the past. Still, it's fun, though you know can't relive the past. You can't relive the past. You can't relive the past. You can't relive the past.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
Nice, Eric. Thank you so much for doing this.
This
We
is the
really
real
appreciate
deal,
it.
man.
Everybody,
Playing
thank
here.
you, man.
Huh?
We really appreciate all of you guys coming and playing.
Thank you so much, Brad.
Yeah,
And
dude. And we've got tapes to nerd out over. I've got some Lightning Hopkins to show you. I've got some
Okay.
Merle and Doc Watson to show
Cool.
you. In the
Oh
other
yeah,
room.
yeah.
And
I didn't mention. Doc Watson recorded the first song we did. He played it at gigs. He was amazing. He was a label mate of mine.
Well, dude, that's
Buddy guy.
the Ed Pearl stuff from the Ash Grove. The most represented artist is Lightning Hopkins. The second most represented artist is Doc Watson. They're all just right there.
You know, it's too bad that we did the Festival Express. You remember that thing, train ride across Canada? Rock and roll train ride with Grateful Dead. Janis Joplin was on it. I was on it. The band was on it. Buddy Guy was on it. It was insane. Just a tour on a train going across Canada called the Festival Express. It's on a DVD, Festival Express.
Nice.
And everybody was they had performers on the train, 2 party cars, 7 doctors on board to make sure people got on the stage.
Yeah, dude, I'm sure that every single one of those doctors was
They were
well
pharmacists
employed the
disguised as
entire time.
doctors. And
Nice.
everyone was getting injected, right, left, and I mean, they emptied a liquor. They stopped the train, literally on the tracks. The Canadian National Railroad stopped a train in front of a liquor store in Saskatoon, and they bought the entire store out. I'm not lying, including the big display Canadian Club bottle that held about 100 gallons of whiskey.
Yeah.
That came in. When the train landed in Calgary, people were messed up. There was a rodeo was going on, and people were getting in fights. Nobody could believe the train stopped because the inertia. It was supposed to go to Montreal and Vancouver, but Vancouver, they were paranoid about cigarettes on the AstroTurf. So they canceled that one. But so when the train stopped, everybody was like postnatal depression. Nobody knew what to do with themselves. I mean, it was really a serious rock and roll conundrum.
Yeah, except potentially
And it's still
just
being resolved
consume that
today
100
here in the
gallons of
studio.
whiskey that you guys just picked up.
Huh?
Except just maybe consume that 100 gallons of whiskey that you guys had just picked up. That would have been a good move.
So anyway, we're still here, standing, playing.
Nice, guys. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, man. This
Bye.
has been great. We really appreciate it.